Right. Hello, everybody. Haven't done one of these live get-ups for a while. Very excited. Tonight I am going to be cooking everything that my Gold Belly package offers. Going to be all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to do 3 different types of pierogi, pork and sausage, potato and cheese, and the ones that we kind of made famous at Lola. Norman's very chatty already. Katie's going to have to grab you because you're going to wait. Let me get you a bully. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Here. Little bully stick for Norman. And he's off. Leave the bully stick off. So, the pork and sausage pierogi, the potato and cheese pierogi, and the beef cheek pierogi. Now, the beef cheek are the ones that we did at Lola from when it opened in 1997 until unfortunately it shuttered during the pandemic. It was one of the reasons that we initially talked to Gold Belly about doing things because there was such a demand for the beef cheek pierogi. So this is our beef cheek pierogi. We also created the pork and sauerkraut ones, slow braised pork mixed with a beautiful sauerkraut, very simple and delicious, and then of course the classic potato and cheese. We have 2 different types of kielbasa that we're going to make tonight. We have a spicy smoked and a regular. These are the kielbasa that we make at Mabels, our barbecue restaurant. So I'm going to start with these and get them going, and then I have some of the packages so you guys can see the whole thing. Now I'll talk about this a little bit throughout the whole thing. There is a discount if you're watching tonight and you go to the Gold Belly site and put in Symon Belly. You're going to get 10% off your orders from the 1st of December, which we're past obviously, till the 31st of December. So from today till the end of the month, you'll get 10% off. So this makes it a great little holiday situation. Also tonight, my son, Kyle, his donut shop goes live on Gold Belly this evening with his kind of donut, with his donuts that you reheat in your oven very quickly for like 3 minutes and a couple different glazes. So I'll show you those also. Those go live tonight and start going on delivery Monday for Grindstone Donuts, Kyle's Donut and Coffee Shop. Okay, all right, let's get this going. So you know what? I'm gonna put the beef cheek ones in first because you know they're my favorite of the 3. These are kind of, when we opened Lola in 1997, what we wanted to do was we really wanted to do food from the Midwest that really showed off the Midwest. The Midwest has a very strong Eastern European culture, you know, so we wanted to do riffs on dishes that really we all grew up eating. Now I grew up eating, you know, potato and cheese pierogi and sauerkraut pierogi and prune and all that. So we did one filled with beef cheek. When we first put it on the menu, it didn't sell because they were beef cheek and no one knew what beef cheek was back then or ate beef cheek back then. So we called it pot roast pierogi, and then they started selling like crazy. They were still beef cheeks, and then we let everybody know that we just changed it back to beef cheek, and it was our biggest seller for our 23 years or whatever it was. So here's the great thing with Gold Belly. It's our dough, our filling. You know, this is how we did pierogies at Lola. They come packaged already made. I have some water boiling in the back. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the water. Basically, the rule is you're going to put in about a tablespoon of salt per pound of whatever you're cooking is a good way to think about it. A lot of times people say make it taste like the ocean. Sometimes that gets a little bit too salty, but this is just like you're cooking pasta. We're going to drop the pierogi in, and they're just going to boil and then float, and once they come to a float, they're going to cook for a couple minutes, and then I'll show you a couple different ways to finish it. Now, as that is happening, I'm going to get my kielbasa going. So if you get the kielbasa combo, or if you get the signature dinner kit, you're going to get your kielbasa, and you're also going to get some Cleveland kraut, which I'll show you the actual package. It's a great company out of Cleveland, Ohio, that started at the Shaker Square Farmers Market, And then they started making our sauerkraut for us at Mabels. When we first opened Mabels, we used to make it all ourselves. We did so much volume, they began making our sauerkraut. Now they've grown tremendously. Two brothers, really wonderful guys, and they've just done a great job. So I have the sauerkraut out, I have it in a pan. This is how I like to cook kielbasa. So sauerkraut's in the pan. I'm gonna put a beer in here. Now, my Cleveland folk are gonna give me a little bit of grief because this is a Yingling, which is a Pennsylvania beer. But you have to remember that my whole family, other than me, were born and raised in Pittsburgh. So Symon is the beer that my dad always had at the house, my grandfather always had at the house, and to me, it is the perfect pierogi beer. So I put in the kraut, I put in about a half a can of Yingling, the rest is for me, and then I'm gonna take my kielbasa, and these are already cooked. They've been cured and smoked, and you know, they're delicious, so you don't have to cook them again. Some people like to brown them. I just like to kind of nestle them into my kielbasa with that beer. I'll just give you a visual of that. Could you see that, Alexa?
Yep, we got that. Mm-hmm.
So you see how much beer is in there, and then we're just gonna put this back onto the simmer. Let these warm all the way through, and when they warm all the way through, they're ready to eat because they're already cooked. So it's almost like when you're making a smoked ham. The ham is cooked, you're just warming the ham. The same thing with the kielbasa, we just need to warm this up. Great tailgating food or great holiday food. If your team is in the push for the playoffs, unlike the Browns, this is a great thing to do at a tailgate. You get the kielbasa kit, you get the kraut, you bring a couple beers with you, put the beer in a pot with the kraut, throw the kielbasa in there, let them start going. And I just bought some good old-fashioned rolls. We're gonna do the rolls, kielbasa, kraut, mustard, which also comes in the kit. You will get a little bit of Old Brooklyn mustard. This is Old Brooklyn, Cleveland, not Brooklyn, New York. This is a company that I work with very closely, talking about different mustard flavors, and that we developed some together. He develops a ton on his own. We kick around ideas together. Really, really, probably, I gotta tell you, the best mustards I've ever eaten in my life, without a doubt.
Alex asked if you sell turketta.
I do. Alex Claudicelli coming in hot, baby. We don't sell turketta, but Alex, I will come to your house and make it for you on any day of the week.
Okay.
Because I know you love turketta. Turketta 1, Iron Chef AG 0. Any other questions? Alexa just choked.
Oh my goodness. Is the kielbasa made of beef?
Yeah, it is a beef kielbasa.
Okay.
Absolutely. It is delightful. 100% organic. It is with Ohio raised steer. It's just a really, really beautiful product. So our kielbasas are going.
For people who just joined, can you, we're doing this with Gold Belly. Can you say where they can get the product?
I formed a partnership with Gold Belly. Wanted to do some of the things that we did at our restaurants. It all started with what we did at Lola when Lola closed during the pandemic. What could we do from Lola that is available to people that, since they can't get at Lola anymore. So it started with the beef cheek pierogi, and then it went from there, and we did the kielbasa from Mabels, and then we did some custom pierogies, and 2 Cleveland local products, the Cleveland kraut and the Ohio mustard, or the Old Brooklyn mustard. I'm gonna bust one open. So if you order the signature dinner kit, I haven't even opened this, comes in a box, like so. I'm gonna show you everything. Use your best chef knife to open the box. I would yell at someone for this. I'm doing it right now. Liz does this, and I am on camera. All right, so we open up the box. It's packed in the box, and there's a, it's in to keep it nice and cold.
I can probably come in a little.
So real quick though, because I made this mistake. So you open this, and when I first opened the box, because I'm an impatient person, I thought this was a cold pack. And it's a pack to keep things cold, but there's actually things in here. So
I remember when we threw it out by accident.
Yeah, I threw it out the first time, and Alexis, I'm like, where's the onion? And Alexa went in and got it for me. So within here, you will find an actual cold pack. I always say these because you need for other things. You will find the butter and onions, because we do pierogi with butter and onions, so it's already done for you, so you don't have to mess with it. And then what we always served with our beef cheek pierogi was horseradish sour cream or horseradish creme fraiche, which we made that for you too. So that is in that kit. Also in that kit, you got a weird picture of me. If you don't want the picture, send it to my mom. And then you get this fun thing from Gold Belly. Over there.
Olivia wants to know if she can get a kit.
Olivia cannot get it. Olivia, you could purchase a kit at goldbelly.com. Liv, I know you're in Long Island right now, so just come over tomorrow and I'll make something for you. All right. I'm doing this with such grace.
Do you need help?
Okay. All right. And then we have a bigger box. So we have the cold stuff, and in this guy, we have our classic Cleveland kraut. This is caraway flavor. You know, they make other flavors, but this is the one I feel that goes best with the pierogi and the kielbasa. We have a couple different types of kielbasa, the spicy and the smoked, so 3 packs of kielbasa, and this is all like, you know, frozen and ready to go. We have our, holy moly, really. I mean, the good news is, you're not doing it on camera, it's packed really well. Nothing is going in there, just takes a little bit. So we have our mustard from Old Brooklyn Mustard, the Bohemian blend, which is like a very similar in flavor profile to like a ballpark mustard, which is the mustard of like in Cleveland you get at the stadiums, just made a little bit more artisanal. We have our 3 different types of pierogies, beef cheek, potato, and pork, and you can custom that any way you want. And what's in here?
How long does that kraut last?
Well, remember, sauerkraut is a fermented product. It'll last in your fridge for months and months. Oh, this is just ice. So that's it. So you get 3 different kinds of pierogies, 3 bags of pierogies, 3 bags of sausage, the onions, the butter and onions, the sour cream with horseradish, the Bohemian mustard, and the kraut. All right. Any other questions?
Let's see. Oh, how many does that box feed? That was the...
Well, there's 36 pierogies in here. I mean, it obviously...
No. That was the dinner kit, right?
Yeah.
That's 4 to 6.
4 to 6, I think no problem. It just depends who you're feeding, I guess. You know, some people, I think 6 without any issues. I think maybe even 8. I mean, you have 12 kielbasa and 36 pierogi. All right, so look at the kielbasa's in here. I'm just hitting it with some of that, more of that kraut, kind of basting it, so to speak. This is going to go back on our stove. I'm going to move this over here. And our first run of pierogi, they're about there. So I'm going to turn this water down because they've been floating for a couple minutes. You know, once they float, they got to go for a couple minutes to cook all the way through. You know, the nice thing about a pierogi dough is it's a little bit more resilient than a ravioli dough. It's a little thicker, has a little bit more guts to it. So it's not quite, you don't have to baby it quite as much. Now, we can do butter and onions with this. I'm just gonna, for these right now, I'm just gonna do with these ones, I'm just gonna do straight butter. And then we'll hit it with some of the horseradish sour cream. So good note of butter in the pan. I have my pan over like a low, let me go up to like a medium heat. And at Lola, we used to like, all right, when I ate pierogies as a kid, my grandfather would boil them, sweat butter and onions together, pap, and then he would put them in and toss them, no texture. At Lola, we used to brown one side, kind of pot sticker style. Either way works fine. It's just kind of how you want to eat them. I think both ways are acceptable. You know, the texture is nice, but not traditional, so to speak. Any other questions?
Let's see. People are asking if you know, if you sell a smaller kit, but can you freeze? Like, if you get this and you don't eat all of it, can you freeze most of it?
So here's the great thing. This is going to come to you pretty, like, super cold, frozen, or right on the edge of frozen. These could go right in the freezer and freeze for a couple months, 2 months, no problem. So you could use them as you want them. We also do a kielbasa combo kit. We do a pierogi sampler kit. So there's a lot of different kits in there that you could kind of make to fit yours. So butter melted in the pan, just browning just a little bit there, a little bit of brown butter. And I'm going to add the pierogies right in here with it. So you have that butter browning.
Would you put mozzarella on these pierogies?
Oh, hell no! Mozzarella on the pierogi. What are you talking about? What's going on over there? Who was that?
That was from Mozzarella Boss.
Mozzarella Boss. Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, you can put mozzarella on the pierogi. So here's a little trick, you guys. This is more of an Italian trick. When you have the brown butter, you have the starchy pierogi water, like this would be pasta water. So you just put a little bit of water in that pan with your brown butter, and it makes a nice sauce. This is how you finish pastas in Italy. These butter style pastas. And you have this great sauce. If you wanted to throw any herbs in there, you could throw herbs in there. Choice is yours. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pile them on. I'm not getting fancy. These are the Lola pierogi, but we're not going to do them Lola style. So at Lola, we would serve these with some sauteed mushrooms. And a little bit of the like the jus from the beef cheeks, and then we finish them with the horseradish sauce, horseradish sour cream. And you could do sauteed mushrooms with it too. I mean, they're delicious just like this. This is starting to soften up. Ooh, I have one soft here because it came in that package, so it's a little bit of a soft one.
Can we turn on a little bit more light? People are saying it's a little dark.
Okay, sure. Let me see what we can do. Katie, just go over there and hit everything on that. I think this is probably as good as we're going to get.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this is good. Could you turn these up?
Oh, we got it. Yeah, there we
How
go.
about now, people?
It looks
Okay?
good.
All right. Katie, we don't have any chives in the fridge, do we? So you could garnish these with chive. You could garnish them with dill, or you could just not garnish them at all. Any way works.
Hard herbs only.
All right. So let's give this a taste.
People are asking about ranch a lot for these pierogies.
Are you kidding me?
How much
No.
time do we have?
Please tell me you're kidding.
There's a million people saying that they want to put ranch on these instead of the...
They will throw you out of Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh. Stop with the ranch. You know, ranch has its, everything in the world has its place. This isn't the place. If you want to put ranch on, put ranch on. I don't really, if it makes you happy. But then they're going to taste like ranch. Here's the reason you use ranch is people use ranch to not be able to taste what you're eating, or something that doesn't have any flavor, like iceberg lettuce has no flavor. So you put ranch on it, so it tastes like something. These taste like deliciousness. So the reason that you use the horseradish sour cream, a little drizzle of it, is the horseradish is sharp and it cuts through the richness of the pierogi.
Okay.
Oh my God! If my grandfather, he lived to 100 and almost 103. When I was a kid, and he used to make these. He was probably in his 60s or whatever. If we would have put ranch on him, he would have died right there. Oh my God!
And those have the horseradish sour cream on them, right?
Right on top.
Okay.
And they are delicious. These beef cheeks. The beef cheeks. I don't even know where to put these. The beef cheeks got raised for about 8 hours. very slow at about 225 degrees in the jus, and then the meat is all picked, and then they settle back down in that liquid to absorb all the liquid. Then the pierogi dough's rolled out, and they're folded in and folded over. So like a lot of times people are like, oh my God, you know, cost this, cost that. I mean, especially for people in like Cleveland and Pittsburgh and some of the other Eastern European towns. Potato and cheese pierogi, you could get them, they're easy. When we came up with this kit, I wanted, like, what I have learned through my travels in life is I assumed that pierogi were everywhere because I grew up in Cleveland. Then I came to the reality that they're really not. They're in like a couple major cities that have big Eastern European influences in them. They don't really exist in other cities. So this is for those people in those other cities. And they're just delicious and special, and they bring me to a great place. And the beef cheek ones, to my knowledge, no one makes them but us. I mean, Lola was, I don't want to say we invented them, you know, like the day of like inventing things, but to my knowledge, we were the first people to do beef cheek pierogi. Kind of what made me a whatever chef I am now. But now you could, for people that crave those ones that they ate at Lola or always wanted to try them, now you can try them. Okay, so before I start the next batch of pierogi, I'm going to show you. So the kielbasa, you could put. I'm going to do the potato and cheese ones with some kielbasa. But another fun thing with the kielbasa is you can take the roll at the West Side Market in Cleveland. There's a little stand in the back, and you can get brats of kielbasa, and you kind of get them on like a hard roll type of roll, this type of roll. And you get your meat. You can get it with sauerkraut. You can get it with onion, and then mustard. So I'm going to take.
What's the difference between kielbasa and hot dogs?
$10. They're both, you know, my two favorite words in the English language, encased meat. So they're both different styles of encased meat. The filling is just different. A kielbasa is a little bit coarser grind. You know, it's a little more artisanal in taste and flavor and texture than a hot dog. I mean, I love a hot dog too, don't get me wrong. So we take our bun, we put our kielbasa on the bun, take that kraut cooked with the beer right on there. Use the pierogi as a base there, and then I take a little bit of that Old Brooklyn Bohemian mustard. I put tons of it on top. For all the people that were asking about the ranch, you also can put ketchup on your kielbasa. Don't do it. So,
People are asking about mustard.
mustard.
Yeah, they're
always
like
mustard. So this is the spicy kielbasa, sauerkraut, and that beautiful mustard. Here's the beautiful thing about this mustard, this artisanal mustard from Old Brooklyn. You can see those poppy seeds in there, like we call it Cleveland caviar. So it gives you a little bit of crunch and bite. Kielbasa is a natural casing, so you get that snap on a roll. So when I was a kid, my dad worked at 40, worked midnights. My grandfather was a pipe fitter. He didn't work weekends. My grandmother worked in downtown Cleveland at Higbee's. So I used to spend all my weekends with my grandparents, like Friday through Sunday. And on Saturdays, we would go to the West Side, or we would go to get my grandma from work at Higbee's. They had one car. And so my grandparents lived in a part of Cleveland called, it's a section of Cleveland Heights off. Clevelanders are watching it on Noble Road over there by General Electric. And that's where I spent like half of my childhood basically. And so we would drive downtown, and then we would go to Ohio City, and we would go to the West Side Market, and he would buy everything to cook for the weekend. Like we either did this on Fridays or Saturdays. So get food for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. And we would do all the shopping, we would do all the negotiating with the guys at the stands, and before we left, we would go to the back stand and we would either get a kielbasa or a brat with sauerkraut and mustard. And I was doing that till my grandfather would say knee-high to a grasshopper.
Rico says, hurry up and eat it before it gets cold.
I'm fine, Rico. Don't worry. Hot food is overrated. All right. So,
Someone's asking about knockwurst.
just another type of sausage, another type of Eastern European sausage. We're not offering it. We might at some point.
Okay.
I mean, I really want to. Sorry, it's some sauerkraut in my grill. We want to continue to build on this, so we'll probably offer brats, maybe knockwurst. We also want to do some of our smoked meats from the rest from Mabels. That'll probably get there soon too. So a lot of different options there. Let's see, what should we do next? I'm just going to do a classic potato and cheese. And we'll do it with some of the butter and onions. So same situation, salt and water, they go in. Once they float for a little bit.
Can you put pierogies in an air fryer?
I don't know. I think people are messing with me today. I think there's people out here from social media that are trying to press all my buttons. I don't own an air fryer. I don't own a microwave. I don't own any of those things. I don't know. Sure. I'm sure you can. I don't know. What's the purpose? Could someone, you guys are all reading this together so people could talk about it. Like, why not just boil water and then cook them? I don't understand. And the air fryer takes up space on my counter. I don't get it. All right, so I'm gonna put this onions and butter in the pan. I think Alex Guanichelli is fueling these questions because she knows all my pet peeves, so she's getting revenge on me for the turketta. Any other chefs on there harassing us today?
Yeah, Aaron Sanchez says, holler at your Mexican buddy.
What's up, Aaron? I think Aaron also has stuff on Goldbelly. You haven't sent me any yet, but I'm sure it's delicious because everything he touches is majestic. Anybody else?
Someone's asking.
What now?
They're asking at what point in the live do you take your shirt off?
That won't happen. Is that? Oh, don't worry. I'll take my shirt off for you later, buddy.
It's Christian Petroni keeps asking.
Oh my God! Chris, for you, I would take my shirt off. Where, Chris? Everybody knows Christian. He is a spectacular chef. Makes great Italian food. Also doing stuff at Goldbelly now, and I am patiently waiting. I think it's going to be here today or tomorrow. He has this fantastic kit with his homemade garlic bread and meatball. I mean, his pizza's on there. I am ecstatic. I cannot wait for that to get here. I was thinking of saving it to Sunday because I'm going to be so depressed when the Browns lose again. I could eat Christian's food and feel happy. Like that's how excited I am about that food coming through. The great I just recently got to know him a little bit, and he is one of the nicest dudes I have ever come across. I love that guy. Katie Pickens, my culinary director, and I were filming in New Jersey, and she was driving. She had to drive from Long Island to Jersey, and she was driving through the Bronx, and she's like, "I am so hungry," and I called Christian. I'm like, "Katie's in the Bronx by Arthur Avenue, blah blah blah." He gave her a list of everywhere to go, who to ask for, what to order. I mean, dude, you are salt of the earth, and I will love you forever. All right.
People are asking what kind of wine would go well with these pierogies.
I would say the wine that comes in a beer can.
They have that now. They sell wine in beer cans.
I mean, I don't know. The beef cheek ones, like a big fatty red, would be nice. The potato and cheese, you could probably go red or white. I mean, I'm born and raised in Cleveland, man. I like beer. And whiskey. Whiskey would be good with this too. Bourbon, whiskey, beer. You know what I'm saying?
People are asking about barbecue. Do you miss barbecue in the South?
do I miss? No, we're starting Barbecue USA Season 2, starting to film it right now. We've just done our second episode. We were in right outside of Austin, Texas. Norman, go see Katie.
Come on.
Go see Katie. He's like, no way, I smell kielbasa.
Norman.
Here, wait. Norman is,
Ooh.
oh, Mama's home. Go see Mama. So, we just filmed outside of Austin. So that will be starting next year. We have a big lineup going, so very excited about that. Who asked that question? Was anybody good? Was it fun? Was it someone on the barbecue circuit?
I don't
That
know.
went all
Let me go back.
I'm not doing barbecue brawl this year with Bobby. I think he's afraid of me. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, and then we obviously cook everything in our backyard for Symon's dinners on the grill. It's not long and slow, but we're cooking over live fire. So yeah, I mean, I love barbecue. Obviously, have a 10-foot smoker in my backyard.
Can we just update people who might have just joined? So we're cooking with Goldbelly. What's the discount code?
Got it. So we are cooking products from my Goldbelly line. 3 different types of pierogi, the classic potato cheese, a little fun we had with sauerkraut and slow braised pork butt, and then our signature ones that came from Lola, the beef cheek pierogi, 2 different kinds of kielbasa, spicy and sweet, some Cleveland kraut, a little Old Brooklyn mustard, and then all the condiments you need to make the magic happen. You could order these on Goldbelly, you get a 10% discount from now through the end of the month. If when you go in, you go to type in Symon Belly. There's several different packages you could get, one to kind of fit you the best, and that's it.
What is Kyle's Donut Shop name again?
Kyle's Donut Shop is Grindstone. We'll get into those in a second. After I do these pierogi, I'll show you some of Kyle's donuts. So we're getting there. KP, you can put it in. He obviously is starving.
Let's just bye, Norman.
He's such a little mooch.
People are asking. There he went.
You know what we used to do in the Facebook Lives when we used to do Simon's dinners? He was a pup and he would just lay here and he would just hang out and he would lay here. And then from the grandkids feeding him all the time, he now understands what human food smells like, and it's over. Party's over. But he's still a very good dog. All right, so here we go. Alexa, number 2, we took the container that they supply you with the onions and the butter all mixed. I feel that goes best with the potato and cheese. So I'm going to take the potatoes and cheese and add them to this onion butter mixture. And then we're going to do the same exact routine. We're going to take a little bit of the pierogi water, which we seasoned it with salt already. Give those a little toss. Almost like you're making like a brown butter ravioli. Same premise.
People are Cindy from Texas said she doesn't want another pandemic, but she misses the nightly dinners with
thank you. We missed it. We had a lot of fun doing those. Had a lot of. But remember, the pandemic. We did them on Facebook Live. We did them for 2 months straight. But now we do them Saturday mornings on Food Network through all spring, summer, fall. So we take winter off, but spring, summer, fall, they're on every Saturday morning on Food Network. So there's that's the classic. Potato, cheese, caramelized onions. You can put sour cream on there if you want. You can just leave them naked if you want. You could eat them naked if you want. I really don't care. Christian, I'm still not taking my shirt off though. Did that once, I got a lot of grief. All right, let's see.
People want.
I'm gonna bust one open just so.
Are those the potato and cheese?
These are the potato and cheese with a little bit of chive in there.
Save one of those for me.
You can see, this is my grandfather's dough recipe, and it's a very delicate pierogi dough. And look how creamy the potato mixture is. We're using beautiful potatoes, great cheese,
What kind of cheese is
a
it?
little bit of butter in there. It's like a farmer's cheese almost, with a little bit of there's a little bit of white cheddar in it also. Wow. Holy cow! I mean, they're insanely good.
Put those over near me.
Yeah, Lexa's a vegetarian, so she's all about those ones. All right, so the last ones that I'm going to put in is I'm going to put in the pork, and they have sauerkraut in them, but I'm going to serve those with the sauerkraut extra kielbasa that we cooked, and we'll top those with a little bit of mustard. So here are pork ones. Water's boiling, they go in. So these are going to come to a boil and float, just like everything else. And as that's happening, we will talk about Kyle's donut kit. So Kyle's donut kit, Grindstone Coffee and Donuts, it's located in Sag Harbor, New York. He opened this donut shop about 6 years ago now. Incredibly proud of him. It's about 800 square feet. In the summer and the season, they sell about 1,500 donuts a day. If you go to his Instagram page, Grindstone, I think it's Grindstone Coffee and Donuts, you can see the pictures of the donut stuff. They're insane. I mean, they're off the charts. It's a brioche style donut. So, you know, there's a lot of places I think at Gold Belly you could get donuts, but what he did I think is really smart and unique. He worked in donut shops when he was a kid. It was something that he always wanted to do. He developed this dough recipe. You can get this 6 donuts or a dozen donuts with 3 different glazes that he puts in here. Just the more straightforward glazes and sprinkles. And the dough it's a 72-hour fermented brioche dough. It has a lot of incredible flavor. And what he's doing is he fries the donuts and then cools them real quick, cryovacs them, and freezes them. And then all you have to do when you get home is put them in your oven for about 3 minutes, and they kind of come back to life, and then you glaze them yourself. So it's a fun thing to do with your kids, but what he had found when he was ordering donuts that were getting shipped, they were all made already, and he just felt that they tasted so much better if you could warm them up yourself and do them. So he created these little kits. They're really smart. I'm not just saying this because of who he is. You get 3 different packages of glazes. You get his classic glaze. You get a strawberry glaze, and you get a lemon poppy glaze. And then initially you didn't get sprinkles, but my granddaughter, insisted that there are sprinkles, so you get sprinkles. And then you get either 6 or 12 of the brioche donuts. And all you had to do with these is cut them open. Again, they've already been cooked, and then he flash freezes them. So he freezes them in seconds. You can see they have that great leavening to them. And you take these beautiful donuts, you put them on a baking sheet. I put a rack underneath them, and they go in a 300-degree oven for about 3 minutes. You're just warming them through. These go in.
Do you have a favorite donut at the shop?
Mine is actually cinnamon sugar, which you could easily do at home. You could just warm them up like this, and then take. I think it's 2 parts sugar, 1 part of a good quality cinnamon, and you just toss them in there. I just love that kind of classic donut. And then my next favorite one is the lemon poppy seed. Is my next favorite, which is the one that I'm going to make here. So I'm going to just warm the glazes. It comes like super cold, maybe a touch frozen. So I just have some water. I'm just going to set this in some water to make sure it's loose and ready to go. And then you just put the glaze in a bowl, and I'll just show you. Just dip them, and you have donuts. Fun for kids, fun for adults, fun if you're having a party or you're having a bunch of people over around the holiday time. And for Kyle, it goes live tonight, Grindstone on Gold Belly, and they start shipping them Monday.
Yes, the first ship date is Monday, but it's Grindstone Coffee and Donuts.
Grindstone Coffee and Donuts. And if you go to his website too, like he sells t-shirts, he sells their house roasted coffee, all that kind of stuff. So there's all kinds of fun things there. Not a beer. Any questions while our donuts and pierogi are cooking?
Let's see. Well, this is like a little off topic, but do you like tomatillo salsa?
I love tomatillo salsa.
Nice.
I mean,
I do too.
Bobby's got a good recipe for it.
And people are they're asking a little bit. So the donuts are frozen. They arrive frozen, or do you think
they will be in a pack that keeps them very cold? They'll arrive frozen or close to frozen. But when you get them, if you want to have them for later, you could put them in your freezer, no problem. Pull them out as you need them. If you have them frozen solid, they're probably going to take about 6 to 8 minutes in your oven. But if they're like just very, very cold, you're closer to 3 minutes.
Okay, great. Let's see. Oh, people are saying they remember you making these last year with Emmy.
Yeah, we made the donuts with Emmy when Kyle shipped them. So I mean, when that was like his first foray into how this would work and the shipping. When he did it with the shipping, they sold out in they actually oversold. We had to take the Michael Symon culinary team to help him fill out all the orders because they sold so many. But now they're, he's got his little production set up and they're in a good place. So you take this sucker off, lid comes off, glaze. I just warmed it real quick.
And you just drop that in hot water, right?
I dropped it in hot water. You could also do this in, Kyle knows that I don't have a microwave, but the donuts, he said the donuts warm pretty well in a microwave. I have no idea. I think they would be better in an oven myself, but as everyone knows, I don't like microwaves. So there you have it. I've covered it all. I don't like ranch, I don't like air fryers, and I don't like microwaves. Other than that, I love everything. Oh, except raspberries and kiwi. I'm allergic to those. I don't like those. Any other questions, guys?
No, just more, we're talking about the donuts and the air fryer. They're joking with you.
They're having a little fun at my expense, Alexa.
My Aunt Sheila wants to know what you're making for Christmas dinner.
You know what? We haven't even, Christmas Eve, we go to our friend's house and they do a feast. They're Italian and Puerto Rican, so we get the best of both worlds. We get the big Italian Christmas Eve and then the pork pernil. Oh my God, so good. So it's just a delicious feast over there. Christmas Day, we usually keep it pretty casual. Usually make Liz makes a big breakfast. It's more brunchy, like breakfast bread pudding, smoked fish, bagels, lox, things like that kind of thing. And we just kind of chill. And now the grandkids get the open gifts. It's that kind of situation. When I was a kid, on Christmas, my mom always made lasagna. So sometimes I'll bust out a lasagna. We had lasagna and ham. That was our thing. We're doing a ham this year. So yeah.
People want to know, let's see, what's your favorite beer from Cleveland or from Ohio?
Great Lakes. Great Lakes Brewery was the first artisanal brewery in Cleveland. I still think, they're good friends of mine, so there is some of that, but I no one does it. Their beer is off the charts good. It's so good. So good. So check it out, guys. These are the pork and sauerkraut ones. I just mix them with that kraut and the kielbasa. Just delicious.
And you just boil the pierogies, right? But sometimes you could saute them.
Yeah, you could saute them in a little bit of butter if you want, or you could just boil them and toss them in soft. Traditionally, they're not brown in butter. I like to do that sometimes because I like texture. But these ones I did not. Just pull one of these down real quick so you guys can see. And then I would serve the pork ones. So the great thing about this kit is you can kind of do it any way you want. You could do it. You could prepare things any way you want. I like the beef cheek ones with the horseradish sour cream. I like the potato and cheese ones with the buttered onions, and I like the pork ones with a little bit of the sauerkraut, the kielbasa, and a little bit of mustard. So, but you know, do your own thing. It's like the world's biggest spoon.
Where did you get that? They're asking the copper skillet that you're using.
That is people always love these. These are from Folk. You could, oh, so good. Oh, man. God. You know, it's funny because I'm in Long Island right now. Close to Kyle, grandkids. And in Cleveland, you know, pierogies are not hard to come by. Out here, if I'm not making them, I'm not getting them. So it's so great to get like, you know, a dish I created at Lola, one that we had a little fun with, and a taste of my childhood, like in one package.
You didn't finish. Wait, where did you say? Where is that from again?
Oh, Folk.
Falk. Okay. How do you spell that?
F-A-U-L-K.
F-A-U-L-K, everybody.
Folk USA, you can go online. They're based out, I mean, they come, there's a company in Toledo, Ohio that distributes them. And they're really, for this style pan, a stainless line pan, they're not cheap, but you'll never find a better pan for that type of pan. Period. In the conversation. All right, so check it out. The donuts, they are warm. They're puffy. Look at them. I sent some to some of my chef buddies. If you're watching right now, this is what's on the way for you. Well, Tajio, I know you're not feeling good. If you're watching, you get some coming your way. And then you take the glaze. You just run them right in that glaze. It just kind of melts across that donut.
Looks so good.
And then, you know, you can do the sprinkles, you can do the strawberry.
So actually, it's F-A-L-K.
That's what I thought. I thought it was F-A-L-K.
Right on, yeah.
F-A. You're the one that said F-A-U-L-K.
That's fine, yeah.
I was. F-A-L-K.
Maybe we can tell everyone if they want to cook with you and do a cooking class.
I mean, come on.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So I've had 3 pierogies and kielbasa. I'm going to hit the gym after this. I'm going to have, and Liz gives me a sigh of regret and anger. Oh my God. He's so good, that kid of mine. Look at the inside. Look at this dough. So.
It smells really good, guys. I know you can't
72
smell,
hours
but
fermented, brioche style dough. I mean, I'm obviously partial because it's Kyle, but I've never had a better donut dough. I mean, that's just me. It's like, not many people are going to put 72 hours into just the process of making the dough before you form a single donut. But look at the layers, the butter, it's brioche, all that beautiful butter, local eggs. Should be eating this. Well, I'm gonna. It's good. Well, Christian, if you're still watching, I need your address. I gotta send you some donuts.
so you can get the donuts on Gold Belly. You can get the pierogies, the kielbasa on Gold Belly. Let's talk about the cooking class that we have going on in
Okay.
January.
So, we have a live cooking class that we're doing with Gold Belly in January. You could order as a Christmas gift for your friends. Do we have a date yet for it, or just
It's January 12th, but they can go and sign on now
Okay,
on your
January
page.
12th, you can sign up now. We're gonna do like a live Zoom type cooking class. Will be a ton of fun. You know, and, well, maybe it won't be. Maybe you don't find me entertaining. It won't be fun at all. But I will try my best. So I'll show you this. Here's the notes I was cheating off of, so everybody could see what is going on. So if you go to Symon Belly, you get 10% off your orders till the end of the month. There's 3 different kits on there for me. There's the signature dinner kit, 4 to 6 people. The kielbasa kit, I think the signature dinner kit actually is like 6 to 8. The kielbasa combo, which serves 4, or the pierogi sampler, 8 to 10 people, no problem. And then also Kyle's Donuts are on the Goldbelly website. They are available to order today and start shipping on Monday. And I also have the cooking class in January. So, Alexa, let's do 2 more questions, then we're gonna say goodbye.
Okay.
Pick 2 good ones.
All right. Let's see. What's the best oil temperature to saute the pierogies in?
Well, I don't really go to I would have like medium heat, I think. And right when that butter starts to get a little bit of color, like a slight brown to it, start adding your pierogies in the pierogi water.
Okay.
The great thing about this, guys, is most of the work is done for you. You really don't, you can see the only time I picked up a knife was to cut open the packages. And I could have done that with scissors. So all the cutting, chopping, slicing, dicing, hand-formed pierogies, all that is done. The sausage, you know, handmade, all that stuff is done. All you really have to do is heat it.
So yeah, what would you say? Yeah, would you say that's the most convenient thing about the Goldbelly? It's kind of just all ready for you.
Well, I think I'm only going to speak for our kit and Kyle's kit. All the heavy lifting is done. You know, like, look, I could give you a pierogi recipe. The beef cheeks take 12 hours to cook. Then you let them cool in the liquid overnight. Then you pull the meat. Then you re-season it. Then you make the dough. Then you form it. You know, it's a long process. You know, Kyle's Donuts, 72 hours to make the dough before they're cut and fried, plus the glazes. So you're getting things made in an artisanal way by crafts people. But it's getting delivered to your door, so all you have to do is heat it and serve it and get really great results.
Okay, and they're wondering, oh, this is a good question. Who makes or who developed the dough and who makes the pierogies?
So the dough was developed by my grandfather. It is his dough. All the recipes are our recipes. You know, and there are pierogies, they're made by hand with all of our recipes and techniques. I learned the dough from my grandfather when I was a kid. It was the same dough that we use in all of our recipes at the restaurants. And then all the fillings are our fillings. So the beef cheek, the pork, and the potato cheese are all our fillings.
Okay, and that's about it.
All right, guys.
Symon Belly for 10% off.
Symon Belly, 10% off to the end of the month. Have a great holiday, everybody. No matter what you are celebrating, have a fantastic one. What, Alexa?
Said sign up for the cooking class.
Oh, and sign up for the cooking class. It's going to be fun. Alexa told me I had to tell you.
It'll be fun. I'll be there.
Bye, everybody. Have a great holiday. Ciao.